What's up, guys? How's it going? My name is Lost, and welcome back to another Kingdom Hearts KHUx video. So, we're gonna talk about Global's 3rd anniversary. I'm gonna give you guys my final thoughts and opinions on the anniversary itself. We're gonna skim through some pictures of the events, the banners that came throughout the month of April. But not only that though, I'm also gonna be reading some of you guys' comments through a community post that I posted on my YouTube channel, and also from the comments that I got in my Discord server, which, if you don't know, I do have a Discord server which has gotten very active as of late. So if you're new to the channel and you would like to join the small awesome community that we got in there, that would be fantastic. We would love to have you there. And if you have been there in the past before and you thought that maybe it was just dull, it was boring, it was quiet, well, that's definitely taking a turn, because it's done a complete 360 and now the server is just active everywhere. So it would be great to have anybody who is not in the server to come join the Discord server, because you never know, there might be some like little things here and there that you might like, or some random other stuff. I don't know. So let's go on and talk about it, guys. Let's talk about Global's 3rd anniversary, or I guess for both versions of the game, the shared anniversary, since that pretty much started out last year with JP's 3rd anniversary celebration back in September. So Global's 3rd anniversary brought a bunch of new things. They brought in a lot of interesting things, to say the least. But one big thing that I really liked, and I like the fact that they are keeping this as a permanent feature throughout the game, even after Global's 3rd anniversary does end, is going to be the draw tickets. And I know I'm using images from the JP version, but it was actually a little bit easier for me to find than the Global versions. But aside from that though, the draw ticket banner, the singles or the multis, and the big amount that they gave based on your Lux level was insane, and it helped so many players. It helped free-to-play players, it helped VIP to play players, which, you know, that's me. It helped out a lot of cheap to play, a lot of just anybody in general in the game, veteran players. Maybe somebody, whatever time frame it is that you joined, free pools at the beginning to start off Global's 3rd anniversary, or the shared anniversary, it was an amazing thing. And the fact that it has been confirmed that it is going to be a permanent feature in the game, and this is not going to be like the only time that we're going to see it, is it's much better in my opinion. And I like that, because with the ticket banners though, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna speak for myself. A lot of my pulls are actually really bad. Like I did manage to get a few supernovas here and there, but just the fact that it helped out a lot of players with, like, say, sub slots, with trait medals, especially because there was a lot of trait medals in there that helped out a lot of players. There was a lot of like evolved material, like say like blue fairies, the dual meow wows, the chip and dales, just like pretty much anything that you can find in the game was pretty much in these draw banners, and I loved it. Everybody in the community was just throwing so much positive vibe about it that it was awesome. And even if you didn't get what you wanted, like say myself, because you guys already know I'm chasing the old big boss Sephiroth medal, what is it? I think it's like a tier 8 medal. But yeah, even if I didn't get the supernova medal, to me, just having free pulls in a game, especially with the big amount that we had before, was a definite plus. It was a big plus for a lot of us, and for myself. So big props to Square Enix in general for doing something like this, because I don't think I've ever seen any other gacha game do something like this, where based on your level you get free pulls pretty much. So big props to that, and I'm glad that this is a permanent thing, and it is not going away once the anniversary, or at least the month of April, does end. The next thing that came after that was banners. So banners, the first banner that came out, at least in the JP version, was Marluxia, Master Xehanort, and Key Art number 20. Which Key Art number 20, you guys already know that it had a lot of mixed feelings in it. It had one side didn't like the fact that it didn't have any buffs or debuffs. The other side was pretty happy because of the insane amount of strength in it. But overall though, these three medals, especially the Marluxia, which I still go behind Marluxia, that Marluxia was the best medal out of here because of the high insane multiplier if that crit actually kicked in. But the one bad thing about this banner that, and I'm speaking for myself here, is the fact that you had a 1 in 3 chances of pulling any of these 3 medals. Whether you bought VIP, whether you were a free-to-play player and you relied on the 10 mercy pool, which was another thing that they did for this month as well, was that all the banners, whether you bought VIP or not, had a mercy pool, which was nice, which is awesome. And I'm hoping that that actually remains the same after the month of April goes away. But aside from that though, I don't like the fact that they put all 3 medals together. Especially whenever a player is chasing a medal, I would have preferred for them to actually put the medal as their own separate banners. But at the same time though, especially to VIP players, it did help them because it did increase the rates and whatnot. But in general though, you still had the opportunity to actually pull any of the other 3, even if before you got to the mercy. So it did have its pros, it did have its cons. You know, some people might not agree with me, some people might agree with me, which is fine. You know, everybody is welcome to their own opinion. But in general though, like, it's kind of like a 50-50 for myself, at least when it comes to just all the banners in general for the month of April. So next thing that came up afterwards was, of course, there was like kind of like a random banner that was thrown out there for Master Sora, Kairi, and Axel. After that, we did get the whole Moogle lottery thing. So this was very interesting. Even if you don't win anything though, the fact that they still give you 1,000 jewels, it's better than no jewels at all. But the fact that one player can actually get 1 million jewels is actually pretty insane. So hopefully in the next week or so, we'll know who the actual winners are. Most likely, I will probably see who the winner is of the 1 million jewels on Twitter. But I still like the fact that even if we don't get a bigger amount of jewels, because usually in the past when it comes to banners like this, whenever you pull like Moogles or Riku and Moogles or Sora and Moogles, whatever, you do get an amount of jewels for every time that you pull, like say this medal right here. But in this banner they did not. But in general though, just this is kind of like a lottery thing. So I mean, it's either you win it or not, but at the end though, you still get 1,000 jewels, and it's better than nothing in my opinion. So it was a pretty interesting thing that they did for Global's 3rd anniversary. So, you know, maybe we might see more of this in the past, I don't know. Next thing is going to be, of course, a quiz. I think every anniversary has that, where you got 1,000 jewels out of that as well. The next thing, which is something that honestly, Square Enix, whether you watch this video or not, the one thing that I would like to ask, and I think a lot of players will back me up with this Hades Cup should be a monthly thing. Especially with the possibility that we won't see any potential organization event from here on out, seeing as how the last event that we had last week said final, which does still concern me a little bit, because I did like seeing the Organization 13 event. That was like one of the only big events that I was excited about every single month. But they honestly should bring the Hades Cup to an every month thing. And I only say that because whether you finish the Hades Cup or not, you still get gems, depending on, of course, which quest you actually defeat, or which quest you actually complete, I mean. But not only that though, it's a good, reliable source of jewels for a lot of players who are able to complete Hades Cup. And then not just a Hades Cup, but of course a Pegasus Cup and the other cup. There's a 3rd cup, I forget which one it is. But just in general though, like, this is something that I wish Square Enix would release every month, because it's something that a lot of people love the Hades Cup. Whether you complete it or not, it's a challenge to everybody. So I'm happy that they did bring this back for Global's 3rd anniversary. But at the same time though, I hate the fact that it's almost like they're forced to bring it for like big occasions like this, and that's it. So it worries me that we're not going to see it under the Hades Cup until JP's 4th anniversary come September. So I'm hoping that this is a monthly thing, but I was happy to see that this Hades Cup did make a big return to Global's 3rd anniversary. Next thing was the Sephiroth event. Now, this Sephiroth event, of course, a lot of newer players did miss out on this event last year, so I'm glad that they brought this event back for a lot of newer players. Next thing afterwards was the fact that we got 10,000 jewels for Global's 3rd anniversary with for both JP and the global versions of the game, so that was pretty awesome. Next thing is going to be another banner. You guys already know how I feel about this banner because of that Zeus medal. Hades, Zeus, and then God Form Sora was some of the other Super Burst medals that we had in the game as well. Afterwards was this amazing copy medal, guys. Oh my god, I will never forget this copy banner. This copy banner, to any new players or any players who have already forgotten about this banner, whenever you pulled on this banner, because it was only limited to one pull per day for 5 days, you would get 10 copy medals, 10 random copy medals in the multi that you did, which was crazy. Because before in the past, when it came to when these copy banners came once a month, because it seems like they were doing that at least once a month for the past few months. Excuse me. It was nothing as insane as this. You know, you might get like 2 copy medals from like the previous copy banners that we had before, but nothing like this where you would get 10 out of any of the copy medals that are in the game per multi. So I'm kind of hoping that they bring this back because that was a damn good banner, and it was very, very hard for a lot of players to resist such a strong copy banner like that. This is a banner that I will never forget. The next thing is going to be the Roxas medal. So you guys already know that the 2 chosen medals that they decided via a Twitter poll that they did, I think at the beginning of this month, was the dual wield Roxas and the Kingdom Hearts 2 Illustrated Sora and Riku medals, which both of them were tier 7 medals, and now they are tier 9 medals with the chance of making them, well, not the chance, but with the possibility of making them into a Super Burst Plus. And these 2 medals now, if you did awaken them to Super Burst Plus or just Super Burst in general, are very powerful medals. And to me, it's a sign that they are going to be bringing medals, old medals like this, maybe old EX medals specifically, back into the power meta that we are in right now. And so hopefully we can see some future Twitter polls with old medals becoming like strong again, becoming great again, making them with the Super Burst Plus ability, and you know, so on and so forth. So I really like that idea, and I hope they continue doing this at least once a month, bringing us old EX medals with the possibility of making them Super Burst and Super Burst Plus with the dual Meows. Next thing is going to be the organization events, which I mentioned earlier. So again, the banner itself says final, and I really hope that it's truly not the last time that we see the organization 13 event. Now, I should rephrase me saying Organization 13 because technically this is more like the Organization 12 event, seeing as how last month we got shafted and we got shafted off of jewels, which for the month of April we did not. We did get our jewels back, which is awesome, and I hope that they keep it that way. But we did not get the opportunity to fight Roxas last month, and they did not do that for this event as well. So a lot of us had like mixed feelings about this, and I myself am worried that we're not going to see organization events come come May. So we'll have to see, but overall though, I'm glad that they did bring it back. It was, even though it was a little odd that they didn't bring it back on the 13th, but you know, it is what it is. At least they actually did bring back the event for anniversary, so I'm glad that, you know, that was there. Next thing is going to be the Illustrated Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora and Riku medal, I just mentioned earlier, with the dual wield Roxas. The next one was in the JP side, at least, we finally know that the Wreck-It Ralph world is a new world that has been revealed in the JP version, and depending on how the timeline works for the global version, hopefully global is able to catch up to JP, and they'll be able to experience the new world and also the brand new Keyblade, which I call it the Brofist via a excuse me, that was my phone. I call it the Brofist Keyblade via somebody in my Discord server who mentioned it, and I'm gonna keep calling it that. But the official name of the Keyblade is Bad Guy Breaker, and so far we've only been able to upgrade it to level 5, and the multipliers, if you have a good sub-slide multipliers, already match up to Keyblades of level 30. So I can only imagine how this Keyblade is going to be once it hits 35 plus. So pretty excited in there. Next thing, which I just accidentally closed, but oh well. I'm not gonna go searching through it right now. I guess like the final thing would have to be the whole VIP medals. I know that for this month we had Mini and we had Darkside, and I feel like there was another one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But related to VIP though, they were throwing a lot of stuff to VIP, especially for the global version. Like, they were throwing avatar parts, spirit parts like crazy for Global's VIP, and that's a lot, man. I mean, like, yeah, to some people it's like, oh, okay, cool, $15, you get like not only whatever stuff outside of the spirit parts and the avatar parts, you get all the other stuff, but wow, were they throwing so much cosmetic stuff into VIP for the month of April for Global Start Anniversary. I know a lot of people again have mixed feelings about it. I'm not going to speak for anybody, but I know some people were not too happy about that. Some people, specifically people who buy VIP, were cool with that. But it is what it is. I mean, I don't understand their way of thinking, at least for the global version, but I'm just a player. So those are like the big things that happened with our Global Start Anniversary right there. So we're gonna go back to the screen now. Again, I did mention earlier in the video that I had some of you guys post up your thoughts and feelings on Global Start Anniversary via my Discord server, via the community post that I had posted earlier this morning. So if you missed it, no worries. You can easily comment in the comment section below. Let me know your final thoughts on the 3rd anniversary. What was the pros to anniversary this year? What was the cons? What can they improve for the next anniversary coming up, which will be JP's 4th anniversary, because it's going to be a shared one, seeing as how they started that last year, so it's going to happen. So on and so forth. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, what they could do better. How did you feel about Global Start Anniversary compared to Global 2nd anniversary? Because I know Global 2nd anniversary was yeah, I don't think we're not gonna go there. It was bad, especially to new players. It was actually very bad for Global Start Anniversary, is all I'm gonna say. So I did go through everybody's comments via the community post and Discord server, my Discord server. So the first one that I do want to showcase is for my server, and this is by Daniel. Daniel says, I think the anniversary was actually pretty good. We got a lot of jewels, decent banners, even if we had to purchase VIP for having a better time with it. The best part is that we got a lot of free tickets to pull on the ticket banner, and a lot of people got at least 1 or 2 of the rare supernova medals, and that for free is amazing. And I'm gonna have to agree with you, Daniel, because yeah, the whole draw tickets was definitely a huge plus for a lot of players, even for newer players. Well, actually, no, I'll take that back. Newer players couldn't really experience that, aside from maybe the high score challenge or whatnot. But just in general, all of the veteran players or players who started before the month of April definitely got to experience all of that. So free pools equals happy players, so can't complain about that. Next comment that I saw on my Discord server was by 2 people actually, and I definitely agree with this. Roxas94 and Troy Will. Roxas mentioned that also the skill boards this month are very useful, and I do have to agree that the skill boards that they were throwing out left and right were very useful and helped out a lot of players. Definitely helped out myself, and they definitely need to continue with the skill boards and make sure that the skills are current and not old skills. So I definitely agree with that. I hope that they continue doing that from now on, so on and so forth. Especially with the price that they put at them with 2,000 jewels each for the board. So I was actually pretty cool with that. Next comment that I want to mention is actually by my boy Ryuji. So I give this anniversary an 8 out of 10. The tickets were a really nice thing to start off the party. I mean, you can easily get 30 pools worth if you're already a veteran player, level 300. The events were also a really cool thing. I'm just gonna add thing in there. Hades Cup, the organization event, but what made me take off those 2 points was the banners. Not saying the medals that were released were trash, but I didn't like how the banners part of anniversary was only super enjoyable for VIP buyers. I also got a few Supernova medals myself, so I'm not complaining. Overall, comparing with what I saw in Global's second anniversary, they did it better. They could do more, they could, and I agree. But no one's perfect, and you really can't judge. And JP got revenge on them for spoiling our third anniversary. Of course, our boy Ryuji, who was one of my JP translators, had to throw in something in there, right? But yes, I do agree that overall, though, with the events and whatnot, the draw tickets were definitely a big plus to Global's third anniversary. The banners, though, again, it's kind of like a 50-50, just depending on what type of player you are in the game. But overall, though, I do agree with most of what Ryuji said. Next comment that we're going to show from my Discord server is going to be from Secret Gamer 0203. I give this anniversary an 8.5 out of 10. This anniversary was 10 times better than the last anniversary. A lot of new medals were introduced, and old great avatar boards had returned, which I did like myself, and especially the fact that those old avatar boards were cheap. So, great events such as the High Score Challenge, even though it had really bad rewards, but free is free. Hades Cup and the organization events were there. We also got 10,000 free jewels and 12,000 obtainable jewels, which is freaking amazing. So 22,000 jewels in general. So hey, jewels is jewels, boys. Whatever they want to throw out, I'm cool with. The only 2 things I kind of disliked about this anniversary was that, one, there was still a barrier between free-to-play and cheap-to-play banners because I am free-to-play, and secondly, the final quests of the events were fairly difficult. Sephiroth was difficult, and you could defeat him, but you need certain medals and strategy to beat him too. Xemnas was damn near impossible for me, and the closest I've reached was 200,000 HP. Other bosses, especially Ramuh, however the name you want to call it, third stage, forget it. 2 million HP with 2 buffing books, which is insane, and not even I didn't even try that event myself. After hearing what was in that event, I was like, nope, nope, not for me. I also like the way they introduced draw tickets as well, which we could have caught up a bit in the meta. That's all I have to say about this anniversary. There was a lot to talk about, and hope to see all of that in your video. So yeah, I do agree, and I mean, I feel like the gap between free-to-play and cheat-to-play, honestly, I think that's always going to be there. I know that a lot of people wish that they could be at the same level, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Just for any gacha game in general, though, and you know, some people might like this, might not like the cold-hearted truth, but I mean, I see it as it is, man. I mean, if you throw money into the game, you're gonna get a little bit more farther and get what you want, other than players who do not who are not gonna be having access to like what a player who throws money into the game will have. So I mean it is what it is, and it's like that for any gacha game, even if it's not Union Cross, even if it's not for the City Opera Omnia that I play or Dokkan Battle, it's always going to be like that, where people who throw whatever amount of money it is into the game will get something a whole lot more faster than say a free-to-play player. I mean, that's just the honest truth. So, you know, I'm probably going to get some flack for that, but I mean, you guys already know, you know, I keep it real with you guys. So there's no point of me sugarcoating anything. So, next comment is going to be by our boy Roboloid, who is also another JP translator. I really enjoyed the amount of jewels we got for anniversary. We got the 6K from Hades, the 1K from the quiz event, the 10K from the login reward, the 5K from the organization, and I'm sure there's more I'm forgetting, but too long, or TLDR, I forgot the meaning of that. It was a lot of jewels. The introduction to draw tickets was a welcome addition to the game, having organization events in Hades Cup returned by popular demand. And what he means by that is just the fact that, you know, it's third anniversary. It's almost like they're forced to throw these events out there instead of like giving it to us on a daily like they used to. But, you know, maybe we'll talk about that in another video. was neat too. Although I do wish we got some new / unique events to the anniversary, like a story event or something. Overall, it was pretty good, and I think it was better than some previous anniversary. And I do agree with Overlord. I do 100% agree with him, especially with the fact that yes, they should have added some more, like a brand new story event, or just like anything in general outside of like the norm that a lot of us did wanted to see. But just the fact that at the beginning they were throwing so much fire with events, with the jewels that we got, etc., etc., and then like towards the end of anniversary, it's almost like they were just like throwing old events at us to kind of keep us quiet, and that's it. And I feel like when it comes to the anniversary of a game, they should keep the hype up for the entire month. And I kind of felt like midway after the organization event, the hype for the anniversary kind of died. And at least for myself, and I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but that's just, I mean, that's judging from how they treated the events and whatnot towards the end of anniversary. It honestly seems that way, but that's just how I feel about it. So Roboloid is definitely on point with a lot of the stuff that he's saying. Next thing that the comment that we're gonna show, and this is from my boy Stormy. Summary and rating. Overall, this isn't the best anniversary, but it was a significant improvement to what we were given last year, which again we're not going to be talking about. The biggest issue was the large overshadowing of reprinted content, which I just said. We got events like the Hades Cup and the Organization 13 battles, which are totally fine, but things like the Summit Adventure and the Sephiroth event were unnecessary and just felt like filler for a company unprepared to fill their promised month of anniversary. To me, an anniversary defines the state of the game is in and the relationship the company has with the player base. With that said, the issue I have with anniversary launching revolves around the emphasis of rehash events and parts/boards. That says to me that even in the biggest month of the game, we aren't good enough for more than 1 or 2 good and new events. That stings, honestly. In my ideal anniversary, we get the same pre-show, we get the same start, but after the initial week, give us a wave 2 where you give us rehashed content you want to give. Once we make it through that for weeks 3 and 4, even if it isn't a lot of new stuff, give us some new things to celebrate with. Maybe a new raid boss, a new event with decent rewards, new story/proud. That to me would make for an ideal anniversary, but that's not what happened here. So to give an overall rating to ours that happened this year, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. And yeah, I mean, just like I mentioned not even a minute ago, I mean, it's true. Like, they threw in some new stuff here and there. I mean, the obvious things, Hades Cup, organization event, blah, 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 blah. And then after that, it's just kind of like went downhill. So that's it for that comment. And then the last 2 that we're going to show, and these are actually from the community post that I posted earlier. Intel said, it was pretty good. I have only one complaint, and I kind of feel, I think there's a little bit of a, I kind of feel like JP got the better end of the stick. Not really a big deal, but due to what happened to JP's anniversary with all of that backslash towards Global, and I think the excuse of time zones is also a bit bad, and it's still Global's anniversary. They could easily delay it a bit for JP because a day means nothing there technically. That's the only real negative I have. As positive, I love the tickets the most, would love to see it back, but just more often. I also love the Hades Cup. It was a good challenge, but actually a possible challenge. It was challenging to whales and more normal people, yet everyone could beat it with some strategy. Like to see more of that. I do, a small improvement would be spreading the jewels out instead of having 5k at the end. Oh, okay, so they're mentioning that like the Hades Cup specifically, let's say, just like they did with the organization event where they spread the jewels throughout the events, Intel would have loved to see the event spread out throughout the Hades Cup events as well, which yeah would have been like fantastic for a lot of players. Instead of having the 5k at the end, overall it was nice. Now the whole time zone thing, I know that is something that a lot of JP players say to a lot of global players, or you know, the other way around. I guess seeing as how it was Global's 3rd anniversary, yes, I honestly I wouldn't say that JP got the better end for Global's 3rd anniversary, But when it comes to like the time zone, I will agree that they should have at least released the events for both Global and JP at around a better timing instead of like day reset. So that's one thing that I definitely could see hopefully changed in the future. But you know, we'll have to see for JP's 4th anniversary in September. So, and then the final YouTube comment is going to be from my boy Yoshi-kun. So, my thoughts on the 3rd anniversary was somewhat bad and somewhat good because, okay, excuse me. My thoughts on the 3rd anniversary was that some were bad and some were good. Sorry, that bugged me. Because the events we have weren't really good, but having the organization event come back with jewels was the best part of the anniversary. But at the same time, the banners they released wasn't so great, especially with the TVA medals coming back, but with a 10 Mercy and some other banners coming out, but as a great deal, yet not a falling price deal. So basically, it would have been a better banner for specifically free-to-play players if the free-to-play banner outside of like the or maybe even the VIP banner as well, I don't know, would have a falling price deal instead of just kind of like a Mercy. Which look, don't get me wrong, the Mercy pull for both banners instead of just for VIP players only was actually a big plus for a lot of players, for a lot of VIP players. I mean, yeah, of course, everybody would probably say like, oh, you know, it should have been 5 as well. It's our anniversary, etc., etc. I mean, I would have to agree as well. You know, I wish it could have been like fair for both players who throw money into the game, and then for free-to-play players, I would have been like a big positive for a lot of players, seeing as how, of course, and again, there will always be a gap between free-to-play and cheat-to-play players. I mean, it is what it is. But you know, for specifically for like big events that only happens like once a year, or I guess now twice a year since we're sharing anniversary now, something like that would have definitely been a big positive for a lot of free-to-play players. Those are my thoughts on the 3rd anniversary. Thanks for reading this, Lost, if you do happen to read it, which there you go, I did read it. So yeah, so overall though, like, everybody has their differences, everybody has their pros and cons. You know, everybody will think on it, not hopefully for like the entire player base and not just for themselves. But overall though, like, my final thoughts on Global's anniversary would have to be that, yeah, I mean, I thought it was an overall good anniversary. I mean, they could have been worse. It could have been the same that happened with Global's 2nd anniversary, which, you know, if you know, to anybody who does not know, it was pretty much a huge letdown because of the fact that if I remember correctly, that there was a banniversary happen. When I say banniversary, I mean that a lot of Global players got banned from the game. I think Global only got 3k jewels compared to like the 10k jewels that we got for the 3rd anniversary, and like a whole bunch of other things happened throughout the month of throughout Global's 2nd anniversary. So overall though, comparing it to like the 2nd and this year's 3rd anniversary for Global, I would have to say I would give it, out of 10, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. So let me know in the comment section below, guys, how do you feel about the 3rd anniversary, the shared anniversary, whatever the heck you want to call it, in the comment section below. Apologies that the video was a little long. I didn't know I was recording for 30 minutes, so I apologize for that. But either ways though, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for some future Union Cross content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video.